The following content contains material that may be triggering to some audiences.
Welcome to the Hope Discovered podcast by CommQuest. When it comes to issues related to addiction recovery or mental health, central to our theme here is that recovery is possible. The path to recovery can be difficult, and what that recovery may mean for some may be different than for others. The point is that a better life is attainable. With us today is Benjamin Chandler, the outpatient counselor here at CommQuest Services. Benjamin, so glad that you are here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Ben is not only a counselor, but he is also a veteran, and that is going to be kind of what this particular episode is going to be about. Veterans Day is Saturday, November 11th, 2023. Veterans Day is observed every year on November 11th. Veterans Day evolved from Armistice Day, which was proclaimed in 1919 by President Woodrow Wilson. Interestingly, 1919 is the year of origin for CommQuest Services. Armistice Day recognizes the end of World War I, when fighting ceased at the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. Veterans Day is intended to thank all those who honorably served in the military in wartime or peacetime. This podcast episode wishes to honor and thank all veterans for their incredible body of work, both domestically and abroad. CommQuest, as a mental health and recovery agency, also wants to raise awareness for some of the issues and challenges many veterans face after their service. Ben, can I call you Ben?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us a brief description of your role at CommQuest, and what are some of the issues that you deal with the most as a counselor?
I'm currently over at Market Avenue as an outpatient counselor. I also run the evening IOP for addictions, and the most common one that I see is post-traumatic stress and addictions issues.
Okay. Some of the biggest issues facing those who have left the military are basically a relationship with themselves and poor mental health in general. Can you speak a little bit about why these issues impact veterans particularly hard?
I think it has to do with the military culture. A lot of it has to deal with going through boot camp and being trained to kind of hold down those emotions and be able to deal with them in a different way. It's not necessarily healthy, but is needed during wartime.
Yeah.
And in stressful situations, you need to be able to think differently. So part of the issue I see is we don't actually get trained to rethink when we come back out, and that we go back into the world thinking we still have to face the same things.
Okay, interesting. Is it true that many veterans feel that the general public will not understand them? And I'm guessing that this only further serves to isolate them in many ways.
In a lot of ways, yes. Even though there's a lot of support out there for veterans everywhere, most veterans feel that the experiences that they go through, the normal public doesn't. So when you come out and you try to talk to someone that has never served, you tend to... They kind of like, okay, yeah, I understand, but they don't really understand and you know it. So you just kind of bottle it up.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard for them.
Mm-hmm. One of the myths about veterans is that they all have PTSD. Would you like to speak to that?
Every veteran has PTSD. That's not necessarily true. A lot of veterans come out and they might not have issues. They might not arise for years, so they never even think they have it. But a lot of times it just depends on what they went through in the military. If you sit in an office doing clerical work, a lot of times those individuals come out with no PTSD symptoms.
You know, as a person who's been a person who studies media for a long time, I can tell you that, let's say back in World War II, the public was generally shielded from pictures of war, actions of war, so on. Vietnam brought war into people's living rooms. And the effect that had on how the public felt about that war can't be understated. However, even those images, there was a delay getting them there. They were processed, they were edited, and so forth. Now, we recently have these issues in Ukraine, now in the Middle East. very graphic, unedited images are available right in the palm of your hand instantly. I can't imagine that this doesn't have some sort of an impact on veterans. Would you like to speak about that a little bit?
It definitely has an impact on some veterans. When it comes to the media and the news, seeing these images can bring back memories and flashbacks and make you rethink about everything that you traumatized experiences. In some cases, some veterans don't have issues with seeing it, and some just ignore it altogether because they know it's going to bother them. So it all depends on the person and the way that it affects them and what they do with it. For me personally, I don't care to watch for the news because I don't care to watch all these scenes come up because of past experiences that I've gone through. And I know a few other close buddies that don't watch the news as well.
That is not uncommon for a lot of people anymore, the way the news has been going. Some of the news has been very unsettling for a lot of individuals. So that's something that's very common. What are the best ways for veterans to find out more about available resources in our community?
Outreaches. A lot of veterans come out of the military and are like given, here's your life, see you later, and not really knowing what resources are available to them. That's the biggest thing that I have found is that veterans don't know what's all out there for them. The VA, they know about the VA. Everyone knows about that coming out of the military. But all these other programs that are out there to help veterans, like Pegasus, a couple other places like what I just did, Honor Hunt. All these places are here to help veterans heal and do things that, the normal person doesn't get a chance to actually do. Sure. And if these resources could be pushed out there a lot better, I feel that veterans would be able to recover a lot quicker and easier.
Sure. Talk about Pegasus a little bit, just very briefly. Tell us what that's about.
So Pegasus, they just changed the name on me, and I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's the Military and First Responder Family Center out in Louisville. What they do is they bring veterans in on like a Wednesday, and they get a chance to learn how to do horseback riding and kind of learn how to take care of horses. But CommQuest also has counseling services out there for veterans for free on Wednesdays as well.
A while back, we did a program about Pegasus and the relationship between horses and individuals. And that, for some reason, works really well with veterans. Do you have just your own personal experience? Is there a reason why you feel that relationship works so well?
So horses are very intuitive. They're just like dogs. They can tell when something's not right, when something's wrong. And that's what makes them special, because they can sit there and be like, okay, you're not right today. So I'm just going to sit here and kind of nudge you and make you feel better. And like, hey, come pet me, or, they like nibble at you, letting you know that something's not right.
We hear a lot about the rate of suicide with veterans. And I know that a lot of people out there here, again, with the news and other things, they're being impacted. What message of hope would you have for both veterans or their families in terms of what they're going through, whether it be recovery from trauma or any mental health issue, any type of stress that they may be under? What message of hope would you have for them?
I guess my message of hope would be, there's help out there for you. You have to find it, but once you find it, life can get a lot better for you.
Sure. Is there any special information that somebody should have when contacting CommQuest about the services, and especially if they are a veteran?
If you're a veteran and looking for services from another veteran, when you call in or come in to make an appointment, definitely let them know that you're a veteran and that you'd like to see a veteran counselor. That way they can hook you up with one of us and possibly be able to get you in counseling with just us then.
Okay, that is absolutely great information. And I know I'm not a veteran myself. I have a whole family full of them. And for whatever reason, that is so important. They feel a kinship with other people that have served. And I understand that it's kind of like a group of people who have been in a plane crash or something together. They share something that just cannot be explained to other people. So that's great information. If you would like more information about CommQuest and what we do, I would advise you to go to CommQuest.org. Once again, that is CommQuest.org. For more veteran resources, you may visit CommQuest.org/veteran-resources. My name is Bill, and Benjamin, I know you're busy. You got a lot going on, and you came in to do this for us. Thank you so much doing this podcast for Veterans Day. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. You've been listening to the CommQuest Hope Discovered podcast. Thank you very much for listening.